bottom. It suddenly occurred to me at the beginning of this year that I haven't properly written fiction stuff for, I think, a good 4 years now. And something that I really got into at uni was actually reading fan fiction. So it occurred to me earlier on this year that if I like fan fiction so much, maybe it might be a good way to get back into the swing of writing. So I gave it a go and I wrote a couple of pieces and put it up on this website. I got some of the loveliest comments in the world from people who wanted to read more and really enjoyed what they read. And I suppose what I wanted to talk about is the worries that come with that, because I tend to worry about stuff that I possibly shouldn't worry about, and this is one of them, because I mean I thoroughly love the fact that people love what they've been reading. So to finally get feedback from people who like reading the same sort of stuff that I read and who read a lot of the same sort of stuff I'm writing about is outstanding, but also very, very scary, because a lot of the comments was along the lines of, is there going to be more? Like, because most of the stuff I put up are one-shots, and when you haven't planned for a continuation, it's very kind of when people really like reading your stuff, you suddenly realise that shit, you really don't want to let them down, and that's the last thing I want to do. So I had stuff going through my mind like, oh, what if I write a second piece to this and it's actually shit compared to the first one? I don't want people to go, she's fluffed it up. But then at the same time, because that was putting me off actually writing anything, I didn't want to become like that fic that people wait and wait years to have updated and it never gets updated, because I know what that feels like as a reader. So I pretty much spent the entirety of this sort of week or so in this position. Come on. Think, brain, think. Well, the bit that actually snapped me out of it was the fact that I cannot be the only person who writes who gets these worries. This video is not really going anywhere, it's just me ranting and showing off my hat. I have recently discovered with writing that I can only wear this hat in order to write, which is both in itself awesome and a major distraction, because I do spend most of my time tugging at these in frustration. I sort of sit there and go, ah! When I can't think of anything. The invariable mental block, which is awful, I hate it. The other thing I've also discovered that I hate with writing, that I end up doing a lot, is coming up with stuff when I'm driving. Something pops into my head and I think, right, remember it, remember it, remember it, remember it, wait till you get home, and like whole scenarios and lines and character development crops up into your head and you sit there going, this is amazing, and then you run up the stairs as soon as you get home, sit in front of the computer and damn it! And there's nothing worse than when you're sitting there and the words just won't come out, and frustration. And the other one is when you wake up at 3 in the morning with an amazing line running through your head and you're trying desperately to find like a piece, pen or paper, or even just the notes section on your phone, and trying to type out what your brain sort of came up with. I've woken up with some random shit on my notes before, which apparently made sense to me at 3 in the morning, not so much in the light of day. See, it's not even anxieties about writing anymore. I've tangented to stuff that other writers must potentially go through. If you do go through any of these things, please do let me know in the comments below. Or if other stuff along those lines happens to you that really winds you up, just tell me. Just tell me, and we'll make one massive book on stuff that writers go through that really aggravates them. Grrr. Or even just like little nuances that a writer sort of develops over time. I'm very much of the opinion that you should write drunk and edit sober. There is a window though. There is a real window between a couple of glasses of wine really sort of lets your brain loose, and you sort of don't care what goes on the page. Go past a couple of glasses and what you end up writing is illegible. That's another thing. Can't write one thing at a time? No. I have, for some bizarre reason, 5 things that are at various stages of starting and completion and halfway through random bits. I have like 2 pages that's just 1 paragraph of sort of a general plot idea, and that's as far as it's gone, and other stuff has got pages of writing, and it's inconsistent, but I can't deal with just one. Really, all my writing at the moment is a jumble of disjointed notes that at some point I've got to put together. I can see it being like a complete kitchen floor operation. I'm just going to put all the bits of paper sort of everywhere and have to somehow order them. You'd think it would be incentive for me to do it now rather than at the end, but no, my brain refuses to do this. Apparently it will all be fine and I'll just sort it at the end. It's not going to end up working like that. I'm going to end up crying because I would have either lost something or thought I'd written something down and actually no, that was just a dream I had that one time. Oh yeah, trying not to edit halfway through work is really hard. You sort of sit there at the computer, right, sort of going, right, no editing, just get it all out. And go. All it takes is one spelling mistake and that squiggly little line to come up on Word, and you sit there going, must, resist, no, can't do it, bye, change it, and then you end up editing everything you've just written, and then you lose your flow, and like this is like a 4 o'clock in the morning problem. You're sitting there, you just go to bed. Good, just edit it tomorrow. I can't, that word isn't spelled right. Yeah. Evil hand going, you must correct this before you can go to sleep. Oh yeah, when you worry about whether you're eloquent enough, you sort of sit there and you just stare at like something you've written. You sit there going, no, I've thought long and hard about this line. No, back. Can't think of anything to go in that line. I got stuck on a simile the other day. I could not think, I was trying to find something. What had I written? Oh yeah, I'd written that the character who I was working on, her scream was ripped out from her lungs like, and that's where the sentence stopped because I couldn't think what to put after like, and that took 3 days. That was 3 days sort of staring at it and like going off and doing other stuff. For some reason my brain cannot go any further than that sentence. Until I finish that sentence, the fiction stops. Just I think I actually ended up deleting that line entirely because it wound me up that much that I couldn't finish this sentence. This is a welcome introduction to my mind. Usually everything is scripted. This is what happens when I go off piche. If any of you guys are writers and you have the same problems or have other problems that you really feel that you need to share with the world, just to convince either myself or yourself that you're not the only insane ones out there, put it in the comments below. If you agree with anything that I said at all, or see yourself reflected in my insane eyes, just hit the like, and yeah, you guys will see me again in the future. Okay, bye!